Early on, I was quite taken with Kumu, long before it was ready to be a product. And then when some people developed the Hawaii quality of life model, I was all in. Well, part of the problem with environments that allow one to develop relationship models is a question of layering. How do you avoid sort of trying to get the person who interacts with it to digest all of the complexity at once? How do you avoid having to eat the elephant in one bite as opposed to one bite at a time? So when they did the Hawaii quality of life model, which was quite early on, considering that it's sequence number 82, and the current sequence numbers are in the 130,000 range. One of the aspects of Kumu that makes it real powerful is that you can actually have multiple maps. So that, and the data is common across all of the maps. So you can take the same data items and place them on multiple maps. In this particular model, where they were endeavoring to investigate what contributes to the quality of life in Hawaii, there were multiple maps that were done for civic engagement, and each of them is a level of detail that one can begin to consume when looking at it, though all of the pieces, if you look at them individually, they're a bit disjointed. And though in the environment it's possible to do a overview map which takes each one of the various balancing and reinforcing loops and makes it an element on a higher level map. It's a level of abstraction away from the detail. And what they did in this environment was they allowed you to click on this, they gave you a description of that particular loop, and then they let you go, they provided a link so you could go to that particular loop and look at that loop in detail. The difficulty with this, I mean, this is marvelous in being able to do it, though long after they released Kumu, they continued, well, from the time they released Kumu, they continued to add features, functions, options, enough to drive a person mad. Though one of the ones that they developed was the ability to link in a way that made it easy to show things and not lose the context. So in this quality of life model version 2, I went ahead and used the URL feature in conjunction with the popover feature so that each one of these elements on this map, which represents a loop, if you come here, you can click on this and it'll tell you what it is. But rather than click on this and opening a new window, you can go ahead and click on Show Loop. And what it will do is it will pop that loop in a lightbox so you can read the description of that loop and just look at the elements of the loop. And if you're interested in what it's actually connected to, you can use the focus expander so that you can move out and look at where that loop is in the context of other things. You can also do this with the number keys on the keyboard, 0 being just the loop itself. And then when you're finished, you can simply close it and you're back to the same context you were in, as opposed to having it take you somewhere else. Now, in a couple of instances, they threw me a curveball because where this R20 Band-Aid solution loop, where it says it's a loop, it actually links to more than one place, and it was a bit tricky figuring out how to get multiple loops to display at the same time and end up with the right description on the left-hand side, but it's not overly complicated and doable. And then when you get here, you can look at R19 or R20, and if there are comments on any of the other elements, you can see those also. And as I said, you can use the focus expander to look at a broader context for that particular loop. And I just thought it was really the ability to use the URL feature so that you, and in conjunction with the popover feature, so that when you mouse over it, it will show you that there is a link to that, and you can click there, or you could also get there by doing a double click because of the way the loops are coded. And if you really wanted to get it in a new window to see where it is, you can go, sorry, well, you can actually click on it once and go here and open the old link, or you could open this, tell it to open this in a new tab. So you could actually get to that part of the map that it's actually in, because it's over in a different one of the maps within Kumu. So there's a link to this particular version 2 of the Hawaii quality of life model in the notes section of the video, as a reference piece in case somebody wants to figure out how to use this. It uses the URL pop feature and the, as I said, the popover feature in conjunction with a feature that we found out wasn't even in the documentation, which is called the Lightbox feature, which is what causes it to pop in the window on top of this, so that one doesn't actually lose the context that they were in, and then by closing this, they're right back to where they were, as opposed to having to go somewhere else and then come back. So hope you find this useful, meaningful, or whatever. So bye.